back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I am here today to do a book haul for you. I just recently uploaded a different one, but this is my birthday book haul. So this is everything I either bought for myself, got around the time of my birthday from publishers, or was gifted from friends and is bookish stuff. So let's get started. First off, I want to show you a really exciting book that my friend Maddie got for me, and that is this one, Fantastic Beasts, The Art of the Film. This is written by Dermot Power, and it's got a foreword by Stuart Craig in there. And of course, if you haven't heard of Fantastic Beasts, it is the prequel series to the Harry Potter universe, and I love it. I know, controversial, not everyone does, but I love the behind the scenes of films in general, and particularly the Harry Potter ones, because they are magical. They have loads of special effects and costume kind of alterations and tiny things that you never would notice watching the film, but they're really, really detailed when you look into the behind the scenes. And this book is all about the artwork, the concept art for that series, so I am super duper excited to kind of get into it and read it. I love this kind of book. It is exactly what I love to read when I'm reading non-fiction, and as non-fiction November is coming up pretty soon, I definitely am really, really looking forward to picking this one up and delving into the world of Fantastic Beasts a bit more. I've got another one on my shelf which is a Fantastic Beasts behind the scenes book too, so I might just read both of them together because I'm really, really excited. So thank you so much, Maddie, for giving this to me, and I'm just going to quickly show you guys some of the inside just so you get a chance to see. So you can see the concept art is all really, really cool, and you can see the different stages, different poses that characters are doing, and I love it. It's so, so interesting. There's the rhino, if you guys have seen the film. So there's just a lot in here too. Nifflers, I love nifflers. So yeah, so much in here that I'm really, really excited to read and find out about, and thank you so much for this, Maddie. And whilst I'm talking about what Maddie got me, I might as well show you the pop figures she also got me, because they're also Harry Potter themed. It is of course Harry himself, here he is, and Hermione, here she is. They both have little wands as well. So yeah, never owned a pop figure before. Very excited that I now have two. It might be the start of a slippery slope. I may now want to buy all of them, but that's fine. I'm really excited. The first two I've got are two of my favourites from Harry Potter, particularly Hermione is one of my faves. So very happy to have both of these, and they are currently living just on the shelf above these. So you can't see them in shot, but they are on there. Next up, I want to show you a really cool thing that my friend Lauren got me, and that is this 100 Books Scratch-Off bucket list. So it comes in this really cool sort of triangular tube, and inside there is this roll of paper. It's a poster, and the poster is super duper cool because it is basically 100 books that you can scratch off like a scratch card once you have read them. So as you can see, I've already scratched off the ones I've read, which include all sorts. They're all different genres. And I love it. Again, it's a really cool present and one that I'm super duper excited to kind of scratch the rest off. I am definitely a completionist, so eventually I hope to have all of these scratched off. I don't know if I'll sort of set myself any schedule for doing it, but I definitely want to just take note of what is on here and try to read more of them. Some of them I already have on my shelves, so I'll definitely get to them, but some I will need to pick up from the library or buy for myself at another time. So very, very grateful to have this as well. Such a cool present, and apparently they do loads of other things as well, not just books, but I obviously think you guys would be interested in the book one too. Next up, I have a couple of books. So I got myself some secondhand ones on Amazon because I was reading the series and I wanted to own them, and those are this one, The Immortal Prince by Jennifer Fallon, and the second one in that series, which is The God of Amaranthia, also by Jennifer Fallon. This is the Tide Lord series, and I've now actually completed the whole series, so I need to pick up book 3 and 4 in physical edition, but I think they look pretty good on the shelf next to each other. They're just kind of mass market paperbacks, and I got them secondhand, so they weren't very expensive, but I'm happy to have them. So I done a review of these books and it'll be up very, very soon if it's not already. I know the first one is already up, but the second, third and fourth will be coming very, very soon if it's not already up, so look out for those. Next up, I bought myself a new Adrienne Tchaikovsky book because I hadn't read this series yet, and it's a very beautiful one, and I wanted to kind of pick it up a while ago, but I just hadn't got round to it. I went and saw Adrienne Tchaikovsky at Super Relaxed Fantasy Club pretty recently and really, really enjoyed that, and he was really, really great in person. I've met him a few times at different events and he's always super nice, and now that I've got into his books I just wanted to pick up more. So this one is called The Tiger and the Wolf. It is the first one, I believe, in a series, and it says, in the bleak northern crown of the world, war is coming. Maeoni's father is the Wolf clan's chieftain, but she's an outcast. Her mother was the queen of a tiger, and these tribes have been enemies for generations. Maeoni also hides a deadly secret. Of course she does. All can shift into their clan's animal form, but Maeoni can take on a tiger and a wolf shape. She can't disown half her soul, so she escapes, with the killer broken axe in pursuit. What spark will set the world ablaze? So she sounds like a pretty cool character already, and I'm definitely up for reading this. Very much looking forward to getting to this one soon. Another one I picked up is one that a couple of you have pointed out I have missed from my shelf, and that is the third one in this series, which is The Dragon Lord's Bad Faith by John Hollins. I really loved the first two in this series. It's a light-hearted, easy read series that has a lot of humour, a lot of really good humour as well, because often I don't like humour in fantasy, but this series I do, and it works super duper well, and it's just light-hearted, easy, fun reading. The first two books I do have reviews of, so if you're interested I'll link them, but really, really recommend this series as a whole, hoping that the third one finishes it off really well. I think this is the last one, so definitely keen to dive in. Also, the covers are just damn cool. Like, look at that dragon. He is a badass. So very, very excited to find out what happens in here. Next up, I bought myself a couple of books that I'd not heard of before with some book vouchers that I got given from friends. So these ones are kind of, I don't know how good they're going to be, but I'm intrigued. The first one is Rosewater, which is by Tad Thompson. Never heard of this before, but it says, Nigeria 2066. The hopeful and the helpless congregate around an alien biodome seeking salvation. Rosewater is a town on the edge. Award-winning, vibrant and compellingly told, Rosewater launches one of science fiction's most powerful and distinctive new voices. And the reason I picked this up is because it's got loads of good reviews on Goodreads and also on the back from authors. Adrienne Tchaikovsky has said a magnificent tour de force full of original and disturbing ideas, which from Tchaikovsky, who also has original and disturbing ideas, I'm pretty excited to read this. M.R. Carey says echoes of Neuromancer and Arrival in here, but this astonishing debut is beholden to no one. And I really like The Arrival. I've not read Neuromancer, but I do own it. But I really like The Arrival. So I'm definitely keen to read it. There's loads of good quotes and hopefully it'll be really good. I believe the author is the winner of the inaugural Nomo Award, which is Africa's first award for speculative fiction. So that's amazing and I'm hopeful that I'll like this one. The other book that I picked up because I had a voucher and I never really heard of it before was this beauty, which is called The Rig by Roger Levi or Levy. This one I have not heard anything about. I looked on Goodreads. It's got kind of mixed reviews, but it sounded pretty good to me, so I wanted to pick it up. It says, on a desert planet, two boys meet, sparking a friendship that will change human society forever. On the windswept world of Bleak, a string of murders lead a writer to a story with unbelievable ramifications. One man survives the vicious attacks, but is left with a morbid fascination with death, the perfect candidate for the perilous job of working on a rig. Welcome to the system. Here the concept of God has been abandoned and a new faith pervades. Afterlife, a social media platform that allows subscribers a chance at resurrection based on the votes of other users. So many lives forever interlinked and one structure at the centre of it all, the rig. So this sounds a little bit like, I don't know if anyone else has been watching this, The Circle is a UK TV show that's just launched and it's all about this social media platform that people kind of come into and they talk and they interact and it's a popularity contest and everyone has to vote who's popular in the week, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of that. It's a reality TV show, and it's not the best one I've ever watched, but it is really fascinating because people can pretend to be whoever they want to be in that show, and I wonder if that's going to have any impact on this book. I don't know, because obviously the book came out before the show, but I'm wondering if the similar sort of things that I see on the show are going to happen in this, if it's all about popularity and subscribers voting for each other. It just sounds very interesting, this idea of using social media to gain advantage in the real world, or in this case a fantasy world, and I hope that this book's focusing on that a little bit more than some others I've read. It doesn't really say an awful lot more than what the blurb says, and there's a couple of good reviews on the back, but I just don't know. I think it's more science fiction-y than it is fantasy, but I don't know. If you've heard anything about this, let me know. It might not be what I'm expecting it to be at all, but I love the cover and I'm very intrigued, so I'll give it a go. Next up, I picked up another Adrienne Tchaikovsky. This is also one that I have read before, and that is Guns of the Dawn, which is absolutely my favourite Tchaikovsky book to date that I've read. I love this one so much, and I actually got it signed when I went to Super Relaxed Fantasy Club. As you can see, which is amazing. So I really was happy to meet the author, and definitely glad to have this so I can put it on my shelf proudly as my first ever read by Tchaikovsky, and one that I love. Hugely recommend this book if you've not seen it or heard me talk about it. I'll link my review because honestly I loved this. And then finally I have a book that I was sent for review. This is not a birthday book or anything like that, it's just one that got sent to me around the same time, so I'm showing you now. And that is this one. It's called Rejoice, and it's by Steven Erikson, and it comes out on the 18th of October, so fairly soon. From a legendary author, Steven Erikson, comes a novel of first contact. An alien AI has been sent to our solar system as a representative of 3 advanced species. Its mission is to save the Earth's ecosystem, and the biggest threat to that is humanity. But we are also part of the system, so the AI must make a choice. Should it save mankind or wipe it out? It sounds like it's going to be very AI focused, which is definitely the sort of science fiction I enjoy, so I'm hopeful that Steven Erikson has done a good job with this. He usually writes fantasy, so I think this might be his first kind of foray, or one of his first forays into science fiction, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's quite short and I'm definitely intrigued, so I'm gonna give it a go and I'll let you guys know what I think when I get to it. The one that I've ordered but has not come yet is the second one in the Tiger's Daughter series, which is called The Phoenix Empress. This one, again, I absolutely love The Tiger's Daughter, which is the first one in the series, and I've done a review, so I'll link that. But I loved the first one, so I'm super duper excited for the second. It's a series that has LGBTQ themes at the sort of centre of it all, but it's a fantasy world. It has clans, it has tribes, it has empresses, it has all sorts. It has a darkness spreading over the land and 2 women at the forefront of everything, and they're badass and awesome and I love them. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. It comes, I think, on the 1st of November because that's when the paperback version is coming out in the UK, so that's when I'm getting it. I believe the audiobook might already be out or is coming out very soon, so yeah, well worth checking this series out. I thoroughly recommend it, and I hope that the second book is going to be just as good as the first because I loved the first one. I've also recently picked up Soul of the World, and this one I'm currently listening to, but not really sure what is going on yet. I haven't got far enough to really know who the characters all are and what they can do. It seems as though there's like magical creatures of a kind in this world and you can bind things with magic, but I'm a little confused about what's happening yet. So there's that one. And then there's also A Crown for Cold Silver, which I have also started on audio, and again I'm also a little bit confused by this one, but I think that might just be because I've not got very far yet and it will probably become clearer as time goes on. So far I've just been following a guy who's like destroyed a load of stuff, mainly. I mean, that's a very loose interpretation, but that's kind of the main thing that's happened so far, so yeah, weird. Those are all the books that I've recently hauled, picked up, been sent, gifted, and so on. Thank you all so much for watching, and thanks to my friends who gave me stuff. I do actually have some of my vouchers left, so if you have any other book recommendations that you think I should pick up in physical form, because that's what my vouchers are for, then do let me know. I would love to have your recommendations. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.